Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Tone Talk with Mark Uzansky and Dave Friedman. It's Friday night, and we've got an awesome guest. We've got Mick Sweda from King Cobra, BulletBoys. Awesome guitar player. How are you doing, Mick?
Very well. Thanks for having me, guys. Nice to be here.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us on our little show that we have here.
That's awesome. I haven't seen you in a little bit, Dave. Nice to see you.
Yeah. I serviced all your amps. I sold you an amp, and that's it's done.
Yeah. Well, I still want that blue light. I'm dying for that blue light.
Oh yeah, you want the blue light. Yeah, you want the
Yeah.
blue pilot light. Okay, I'm gonna go on a quest and find
Okay.
you a blue pilot light.
I know. I'm that little guy on your shoulder, just freaking poking and poking and poking. Hey, the blue light. Got the blue light.
What's the blue light for?
He wants a
Oh,
pilot
my
light on
Freeman.
his.
I just
blue,
like
to be
to
blue.
customize whatever I can. I
Yeah.
mean, if it were up to
Okay.
me, I'd tweak everything I have. So, in fact, I do.
Well, why not? It's yours, right?
Yeah,
You buy it, you
exactly.
can do whatever you want.
Thank you.
So, is that your Jose behind there?
The Jose is underneath. Yes, it is.
So that's a fun story. So
It is.
going way back. Well, actually, you could probably tell the story better. So you were going to record your first record, right, with Ted Templeman, right?
Yeah, and he was familiar with the gear that Brower had, and so when I got to the studio, that was just sitting there. He had the Jose with two cabs, and we started, playing with it, and the guys were kind of giving me tips because my amps were all just like straight front end. I didn't have to deal with pulling knobs and gain here and all that. So by the time we got to a tone that Ted really liked, I was sitting there thinking, oh man, this is like way cleaner than I'm used to playing. But it was fun. It was a challenge. So by the time we got done doing all our takes, I mean, obviously I got more and more comfortable with it. And it was fun. It was fun. But by the time, and we rented it, of course, for the whole time we were in the studio for the first record. So by the
Which
time
was
we got
how
to the
long?
second, what's that?
Which was how long?
Oh man, and we might have been in there for almost 3 months. Um,
You paid for it 4 times.
right. So by the time the second record came around and Ted was like, "Oh yeah, let's get that amp," I was like, "No, let's just fucking buy it." Let's just. And we ended up doing it. Paid a lot for it, of course, but I've had it ever since, and
Well, it's
it's
worth a
the
lot more
mainstay
now.
still.
You didn't pay that much on the scope of things today.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It
Yeah.
might have been a bargain back then.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was expensive at the time. Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you told me what it was, and it was
Yeah.
expensive at the time. But I mean, it's a $25,000 or more amp now.
Yeah, man, it sounds like it, and you tightened it up, and it sounds even better. So
Yeah.
I'm
The
happy with
funny
it.
thing is when I was at, because I was 18 years old and I worked at Andy Brower's Studio Rentals, so I knew that amp. I remember when you guys rented that amp. I remember when your record came out, and I remember when he sold it to you. And
That's funny. I
the
did not
funny
know all
thing,
that.
the funny thing is, 10,000 years later, I wound up, it comes back across my bench to service it now.
Mm-hmm.
And, and it was finally, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot even like some of the, like it has a voltage switch on the back, and
Right.
I forgot some of the stuff it had, but God, it sounded great when I was done.
Yeah, and it
kicking
still does.
ass.
But to be honest with you, I was afraid to do it because if you listen to our second record, when I actually got to like push everything up to where I like it, God, it sounds so beautifully tortured. I mean, to me, it's like it's just screaming to please stop. But I just freaking loved it,
Wow. So what are the details on the mods on that?
It's just a 3-in-1 mod, so it's not the super high gain ones or anything. So it's just the majority of Jose's I've ever worked on are basically that. Only some of them had the higher gain options, which was they had a push-pull master and had some different things with the diode clipping and things like that. But the majority, like Mick Mars's amp, was like his, and his is a little different though because the front end So the funny thing is I came out with this Jose amp, right? I just came out with Jose tribute amp to Jose with his daughter. And there's a fat switch on it that has this cap that has a fatter front end. And that's because of that amp, because that's the way that amp is. And so I put it on this tribute amp. The only thing I didn't put on was there's voltage switching in kind of a very archaic way, but voltage switching that switches the voltage to the first tube stage. It changes how high or low the voltage is. And that radically changes the response of how the amp sounds. And I didn't put that on the new amp I did because it's too weird to switch.
That's the first time I've heard of that that voltage mod.
Yeah, a few of the Jose's I've worked on have had it. Not too many. Maybe three.
Is it kind of a risky feature? Does it like?
It's not risky. It's just like you're switching on a switch. You're switching high voltage, and it's it pops when you switch it, and it's just a little archaic in its nature how it works. But it's really cool for dialing in how you want it to sound. The higher voltage is a little leaner sounding, a little more bold, and the lower voltage is a little squishier. It's just how the gain stage is set up. It's interesting.
Well, back in the day, the thing was that Eddie used all these amps, right? And then the more you learn, the more you hear, it's like he didn't have anything to do with that, and his amps are all just like stock with the Variac or whatever.
No, but like the mod that's on that was the idea behind that mod was, how do I get with a master volume and lower volumes? How do I get a cranked super lead sound?
Right.
Ed cranked his super leads, right? And it's loud, and it's with the Variac and this and that. So I think the whole idea, it seemed to be the whole idea of the Jose mod was, how do I get that sound, but with a master volume at a lower level, and
at a reasonable level.
It pretty much does that kind of sound at a lower level. So I mean, he pretty much accomplished that.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't quite get the roar of a power section, but the basic tone is there,
Yeah. No, it sounds the ones that I played, I haven't the copies that I played, I haven't played any original Jose's, but they all sound pretty cool.
And if you start out at that lower level, it's very seductive because you just want to creep it up, and it's just gets more beautiful every time it gets louder.
A little louder, little louder.
Yeah.
There is a point though you go there where it goes too far, because an amp that has a hot rodded front end already, you can only push the power section gain so much before it starts sounding just like a mess. You kind of back it off a little bit, and you can totally hear where it is. You're just like, oh, right there, it's tight but pushed, and it's like, oh, it's at 6. Okay, cool. Or 5 or whatever.
Yeah, just put it right on the edge.
Yeah.
And what's the other amp on top there, Mick? Is that a deluxe 50 or 100?
Yeah. So
100 deluxe.
BE to 100. Yeah, deluxe. It sounds great. I've been using it a lot.
What do you got? A 2203 below that?
That
2204 master volume.
You know what? That's like, I just call it my 70s amp. I've always had. It's got in fact, I talked to you about reverse engineering that mod that who was working with Bob Bradshaw.
Oh, Martin. Is that what's on it?
Yeah,
Martin Gollop. Yeah.
Which it sounds great, but it's a little noisy, and I'd kind of like to reverse it out of there at some point.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what it is. I mean, there's some things you could do to make it better.
Yeah, I mean, if it was quieter, it'd be great.
Yeah, you can make it quieter for sure.
Yeah, and it's pretty gritty. But that I grew up with an amp like that, a combo. I had the 50-watt combo, so that was kind of my thing for years.
Yeah, maybe just a stock 22. Is it 100 watt? Yeah. Or 50? Yeah. Okay.
It's 100.
100 watt. I mean, then it would be a stock 2203. I mean, you can make it a stock one, and then it would just be, crunchy and good and different than your other two.
Yeah.
Might be a good compliment to that.
That's right. And that's what I like. I like the idea that all of my amps, like I've got another one that you can't see over there that I got from Japan, 50 watt. And it was funny because I was over there, and and of course everything is 220, so it was freaking ungodly. I was like, oh my God, I got to have this amp. And I brought it home, and it, it didn't quite sound the same at 110, but it still sounds good. I love it.
Cool.
So where are you located, Mick?
I'm in Granada Hills.
Oh, okay.
Out here.
Yeah.
so
He's not far.
You're
Not
in
far.
town.
Close by. You can just
Yeah.
stop by and drop it off. Cool.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, bring it. We'll hook it up.
Okay. Yeah.
Make it right.
I might have some time between now and the end of the year. Absolutely.
Are you busy?
Yeah, we've been busy going out with. I'm playing with Ricky Rocket from Poison. We're doing like a cover thing.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it's been
cover
really fun.
band?
Yeah. Doing some old 70s stuff, kind of right up my alley. So
That's cool.
we've been getting a great response and having great shows, and it's nice to be home after this last run. So yeah, we'll have some time in the next couple of months.
Yeah, sure.
What's the name of the group?
The name of the group is the Rocket Mafia, and we've got a cat named Brandon Gibbs singing, and we haven't totally worked out the bass situation yet. But Ricky's a groove monster, and it's a lot of fun. We're having a good time with it, and people are really digging it. So that's
cool.
That's the barometer, right?
Yeah,
and if you're having fun, that's the other part,
And that's it. We're not really selling anything. We're just going out there playing tunes we love, and people are getting that. There's no pressure. It's just a lot of jumping around and getting people going, and it really is working out pretty well.
Awesome. Cool.
And what's the live rig for that?
Well, they're flyouts, so I'm just getting what I ordered was 900s or older, and I realized now that was kind of a mistake, because I never really liked the 900s. They've given me a couple of 800s, and there's something about those that are just a little too brash to me, a little too, I'd say, tinny. So my buddy, he's been getting these 2000s, which, I mean, there's way too many knobs on them for me, but the ones that I end up using work pretty well, and I like that. I compliment. So I'll keep either one of the 900s or the 800s, and then mix in a little of that 2000, and
a
seem
little
to be
more
able
gain.
to. Yeah, exactly. And I'm the guy that, like, I don't really want to stomp on pedals. I don't like overdrive pedals and all that. So if I can get something that's coming straight from the guitar, that's where I'm at.
Perfect.
Yeah.
2000 is a safer bet probably for rentals, because
I think I'm gonna.
You kind of know what you're getting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the 800s and 900s, they can be a little temperamental, and they differ quite a bit between from one to the other. So I gave them a shot. Oh well.
Yeah, I used to have a DSL 50 to JCM 2000.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right.
Yeah, it was good,
And that's the thing.
You can make it sound fine.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean, would I love to take my stuff? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Can't always do that. Oh, I should show you something then.
I was going to say, you might want to consider this.
Oh yeah, I've heard a little bit about that.
The little IRX pedal, and then you just plug that into the effects loop return of whatever amp you have, and then you have the consistent same sound. Well, relatively, if the amp's healthy and the cabinet's good, but you can have the same sort of sound as the B100.
We may have to talk about that.
Yeah, that can be cool. It's a good little travel.
Yeah, it's a good travel piece.
Yeah,
for sure. I know. I get a lot of people doing that now. They'll just rent whatever 800, as long as it has a loop, just a loop return that you can just plug into and then go from there. You can use that direct too, but you use cabinets. So the proper way.
Yeah.
Right.
Real amps,
moving air,
the proper way.
Having to talk to you.
Yeah. Not a silent stage.
No. God, no.
It's all wrong. All of that is wrong.
No judgment.
And I always love the sound guys. Oh yeah, if you have a silent stage, I'll make it sound so good out front. And then you go hear the sound guy out front, and you're like, sounds like shit.
Yeah, there's lots of drums.
I mean, I hear drums and vocals, cool.
Yeah,
but it's a guitar. It's a guitar band. Why?
Yeah,
there's no guitar. Where's the guitar?
That's right. I'll help you out, sir.
Let me turn my
Yeah.
20 dB more guitar, please.
Yeah. You've got it.
No, I think some of these new guys, they actually don't know that the guitar is supposed to be that loud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were always really loud. I mean, I always had great guys that could, deal with it. And we were kind of a loud band anyway.
Yeah.
So, most of the times the comments in clubs are like, Jesus, are you guys always this loud? No, sometimes we're a little louder than that. So I haven't really had any trouble. I remember we played some casino in Vegas one time, and there was old guys running the production. He was like, well, you're going to have to turn that guitar down, or I'm just going to have to turn you off in the house. And I acquiesced. And of course, the first thing I heard after the show was like, dude, I couldn't hear your guitar.
Yeah.
So I don't go with those guys anymore.
Or you turn down, and then the minute the show starts with people in the room, you just turn back up again, and that's the way it is.
And I've done that. But I try to be pro. I mean, I try not to freaking turn around and do the Uli John Roth thing where you just freaking dime everything as soon as the song gets going.
Oh, yeah, but that's great.
It is great. It is great. It's not that I don't want to.
Yeah.
You just don't want to get into an argument or fight with somebody.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good with that too, as long as the guitar's getting heard.
Yeah. So we got a question, Dave. Does the Jose that you make, is it able to get the same tone as Mick's Jose?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't compared it, but I compared it to the Jose I own, and it does it. The funny thing is I made this whole entire amp, and I never listened to it compared to a real one. And then one day after I already started making it, I go, maybe I should listen to it compared to mine. and luckily I plugged it in and put it on an amp switcher, switch between the two, and I'm like, fuck, it's identical.
Nice.
I was like, cool.
Well, Dave, how familiar were you with the intricate workings of an amp back in the day at Brower?
I wasn't.
I mean,
I was 18 at the time. I wasn't at all. This is something that developed over the years that I got into,
Yeah.
Not at all. But I was really into gear. Like from the time I was before I was 18, starting when I was 16, I was like, how do these guys get this sound? How does Eddie Van Halen get that tone? How does so-and-so get that sound? How does Warren DeMartini? All these guys, right?
Yeah.
And I was really kind of obsessed about it. And that's how, in the end, after moving from Detroit to Los Angeles, I got a job in Andy Brower's. Kind of an interesting story. From Michigan, where I lived, I had tried to contact him because he was in magazines and stuff at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried to contact him to ask him a few questions about some things. And because I thought he knew, really. In hindsight, maybe he didn't know. But and I wound up, I was into some gear. I had some orange cabinets. I had old orange cabinets and stuff. And he was like, I'd love to buy one of those. You want to sell me one? And I wound up selling him a cabinet and shipping it. And so that's how I kind of got friendly with him. And then he goes, yeah, if you get out here, look me up. And then I went and I wound up getting a job.
Nice.
So then I, was delivering gear essentially, but
yeah,
but we're in the thick of at the time, everyone was making records. I mean, the music industry was really healthy.
Well, that'd be my next question. Do you remember some of the guys that used this Jose in the day?
You're the one that stood out to me. I don't, but it did go on sessions and stuff. So I'm not exactly sure. He had lots of amps though. So I mean, he had a Soldano modded Marshall and a Jose modded Marshall, and he had Lee Jackson modded Marshall.
Yeah, I remember the Jackson stuff.
Never liked that stuff.
Yeah.
And a couple others, and then all sorts of stock stuff and all sorts of, it was the best education I could have ever had in my life, was the education of having all that gear in front of me.
Right.
Knowing what every Tweed amp sounded like, what every Blackface Fender sounded like, what high watt Marshalls, modded Marshalls, stock Marshalls, cabinets with different speakers. It was the best education ever.
It's a lot to absorb.
The library was big.
And he had
you
all
were
those
around
amps?
him and checking him in and like coming back from rentals, and you would have to check them, make sure they're still good and they're working good. They come back. So you could play through everything.
That's wild.
And you know, even like, you know, for us, even guitar maintenance and things, you know, because we would do guitar maintenance on rental guitars and things. You know, they had vintage Strats, vintage Les Pauls, you know, everything under the sun at the time.
Wow.
And you got a real feel for that too. You know, you got a feel for like, oh, these are 60 Strats. Okay, cool. These are this, these are that, you know. And you'd have to restring them and set them up and like make sure the intonation's right and everything. We learned all that stuff. So,
so
it's an invaluable education.
Yeah.
And you were there at the right time too.
Yeah, at the right time. I think it would have been better just a little earlier. So this was like 1988 when I started, I think.
Oh yeah, okay.
A little bit earlier would have been a little cooler, but
you were still
it was still good. And then, you know, then the music changed.
Yeah.
And we went to but I do remember the fun thing about the music changing. I remember this is the job morphed to so there was a retail store in Chicago called Making Music, and Making Music partnered with Andy Brower to do an LA version of Making Music, which was a high-end retail, you know, like high-end boutique gear store, you know. And so eventually I stopped working for Andy Brower and started working for Making Music. And then eventually Making Music moved out of Andy Brower's down on Lancashire to a different location. And I worked for them for a while until they fired me. But that's a different story.
Oh, really? You never told that story.
That's a different story. But I'm happy they did.
Everything works out.
But so where I was going. So for a while, this was early 90s, my little shop, because I had already started doing rigs for people and stuff. My shop was into Andy Brower's. And I remember the door was open in the hallway. And I remember this guy coming in this sweater, dragging his guitar behind him down the hallway, dragging it on the floor, you know, just like, who the fuck is this? You know, he's dragging this Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
Who's there to try out gear
changing.
with Butch Vig. And you know, and so I remember they rented a certain baseman that Andy had. Baseman head.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know who it was at the time. No idea. This guy, it was nobody at the time.
Right.
You know,
sounded like he'd rather have been anywhere else.
Probably. Hey, we got a question from Nuno Van Brada Beach. Nice name.
I wonder what he does.
I think he likes guitar.
I think so too.
Can you tell us about the red PRS from the THC Groove video?
Yes, I can. I'm not sure how we got in touch. I think I went to the shop when we were out in Maryland and took a tour because I think Bonnie, who was working for him at the time, she might have been A&R. I think she took a liking to me and invited me in and loved what I was seeing and loved the idea of a guitar that would, you know, because at the time I was putting those little Taylor locks behind my nut. I had the Tune-o-matics. I was doing everything I could to keep my guitars in tune. I'm not easy on guitars. I mean, I like to pull and I'm a big bender, and I was really struggling to keep everything at least somewhat in tune. So, the idea of a guitar that had a cool whammy and it was easy to play sounded great to me. So anyway, took the tour. Bonnie was great. I said, I just want it to be heavy. I want, make it heavy, make it sound, no offense intended, but try to make it sound as less polished as you can. And they did. They made a beautiful guitar that, of course, I have today. It's heavy, plays great. It's just a dream guitar, to be honest with you. And but I was never able to sort of break away from my Gibson addiction. And so though I used it in that video and I've played it quite a few times out live, to me it's a studio piece. It's almost too nice and too pretty to take out and abuse like I have with my poor other guys. So that's the story of that guitar. I mean, I genuinely love it, and it sounds great.
That's early on in PRS's history, I would imagine.
90, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
1990. Well, would it have? I don't know. Yeah, maybe even 89. I think it was very early on.
That's pretty early. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's way early.
I was going to say that guitar's probably worth a pretty penny too.
When was?
Go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, I was going to say, when was the first BulletBoys record recorded? What year?
Was that 88?
1988. In the
88.
First,
I thought so.
Like the first quarter of 88. It came out in September. So I don't know. Maybe I should say the first half of 88. At some point, it didn't take us 6 months. I'm just saying it some 2.5, 3 month period in there. And then it came out and it struck lead and we didn't have anything going on and we weren't sure what was going to happen. The first single came out and died and we were like, holy shit, what are we going to do, guys? And at some point, I'm not sure how it worked out, but we did a video for one of the songs, Smooth Up In Ya. And I'll never forget, we went to this club in Wisconsin. We were doing 2 opening dates for Cheap Trick, arena dates, but we had to pay for everything with our club dates. And I'm kind of an introvert. I just stay in the dressing room and make sure my guitars are right, and make sure I'm warmed up and make sure everything's cool. But when we went to the stage, it was kind of a long trip and the place was packed. And mind you, we opened for Ian Hunter and Mick Ronson. So we didn't even know what our crowd was like. We had no idea. But anyway, I'm on these stairs and I'm looking down and the place is packed and I'm thinking, wait a minute, are we opening for somebody? Like, is there someone big playing here tonight? And I'm looking outside and there's people outside waiting to get in. And that was when somebody said, no, dude, your video's all over MTV. And it happened kind of like that. And it saved our record.
Boom.
A switch. Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah, that song was big.
It was.
It got somehow it got a lot of rotation on MTV, and that's actually the LP Pro that was in it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool because I remember that. I mean, I was watching MTV back then.
Yeah.
All the time, so.
Yeah, it was still good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was when they actually showed videos.
Yeah.
Of music.
New music videos.
Music
television.
TV. What happened?
And now is it even I don't even know. I don't have cable anymore, so I don't know. I just
but I do remember the old days when they were just showing people like having sex with each other in houses and running around being
well, I think it still does that.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of reality.
I still think that's the deal.
Yeah.
It's too bad because that era was pretty cool. And sometimes you would see things watching it that you didn't know existed, or you who's this?
Right.
And you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, you could be introduced to somebody, some really good bands.
Yeah. Now, not so much.
I think it was, being a teenager back then, it was a special time. I mean, it really was just when MTV came out and all the videos like debuting and
that was great.
The VJs just being, I mean, I remember hooking it up to my stereo and I actually had like TV and stereo. It was like the greatest fucking thing ever, I mean, it was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And now I'm watching music videos and stuff. I mean, as a kid, it was just fucking fantastic. It really was.
Yeah, I actually feel bad. I have a 25-year-old and I feel bad that some of these kids aren't ever going to experience what I mean, I'm older than you guys, so I remember going to record stores, and that was my introduction to bands. You know, if I saw somebody with a cool cover, I remember buying Iggy Pop's Raw Power and kind of picking it up and looking around to make sure nobody was gonna, you know, arrest me or chastise me for it. I felt like I was doing something wrong, right? And just that feeling is so cool.
Yeah, I remember going to the record store too and looking through the bins, and you're like, "What's this? This looks kind of cool. Okay, I'll buy it." You know,
exactly.
And then you're
kind of like a bottle of wine now. You know, give me a good label, and I'm freaking halfway there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it was
cool.
Times have changed. So, speaking of the first album, it's Coverboy Band asks, what was the bulk of the Bullet Boys album was recorded with? That was my favorite recorded guitar tones. You said it was was it mostly the Jose, or was it anything else?
Yeah, it was entirely the Jose. Although, like for Smooth Up In Ya, for example, even though, you know, the LP Pros in the video, I used a James Tyler on that entire song.
Oh, really?
So it was really only the guitars changing. I had a nice white Les Paul that I used on the song like Shoot the Preacher Down. I'm not sure how much I don't think my Jackson made it onto the first record, but yeah, that record is largely kind of Les Pauls, and with the exception of that Smooth Up being the James Tyler.
Wow.
And that was recorded at One on One Studios? Is that correct?
One on One. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
drums
is
were in the
back.
big room, and it was real good sounding room. But yeah, the Jose that we were talking about earlier, that I basically just kept that on one setting the entire time. Rhythm, lead. I never really changed any of that. So it was basically one tone the entire album, with the exception of the guitars.
Which what kind of James Tyler was it? Like from back then?
It was an early kind of pinkish thing that I would never play outside of the studio. But it, you know, it was great. Stayed in tune.
Does it have the preamp?
Well. You know what? If it did, I didn't use it.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to recall, but it seemed like because he brought a whole. I mean, I think I had 6 of his guitars there, you know, just waiting to be used. Which, you know, like with Ted Templeman, superstar producer, that's not a big deal, right? You're a baby band. Hey, let's rent this, and let's rent this, and let's have this sitting here for 3 months, and let's have, you know what I mean? It didn't really end up for a very cheap record.
No,
it certainly had options.
A very expensive record that you paid for a long time.
Oh yeah, and you know, the videos too. So I mean, videos weren't cheap back then. You can't make a $40,000 video back then.
Yeah.
No, everything had to be a
like
big
buku dollars.
Yeah.
Buku dollar time.
You can do it on your phone.
What was it like working with Ted Templeman?
Well,
good question.
It was great. I mean, he wasn't one of my first choices. I think I had a list of 5 guys, and he wasn't on it because he was just coming off Done with Mirrors. And I felt like, you know, Aerosmith was my band, and how dare you make them sound like that, you know? So I didn't really have an appreciation for what he had just finished up, but really sweet guy, great ideas, open to, you know, what you have to say, and very amenable to, you know, making changes and going with it if you really felt strongly about it. But he, you know, he also worked us pretty well. Like I remember the song on the first album, Badlands. We ended up tweaking that quite a bit, you know, and I ended up falling in love with his technique and his style and the way he thought. And I learned a lot. And at that point, I would have considered myself pretty methodical in terms of recording. And I wanted to, I'll do that over, and we'll get back to this, and I'll fix all this. None of that happened. You know, I mean, everything I did as a guitar player, I think there were some overdubs, but you know, there were rhythm parts like behind solos that I had to make up on the spot, and I just like, okay, and that's what ended up on the record. And I realized that, you know, some of the imperfections are really ultimately what you should be going for. And that's one of the biggest things I took away from Ted.
Yeah, the imperfections make is often the magic You know,
Oh yeah.
you don't realize it's the magic quite right away. Maybe someone on the
Oh
outside
yeah.
generally realizes that
Yeah.
vocal take, although not perfect, is the take. You know, we're going to use that take because
Right.
that has
Oh
the thing.
yeah. Let's go back to, you know, the Spiders from Mars record, and let's fix all those bass miscues. Yeah, right. They're freaking beautiful, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. It gives it a human element as opposed to this computerized, perfect kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's scary, you know. I mean, these days you think to yourself, well, man, I might only get one shot, and if that's what everybody hears, if they hear my flub or, you know, I'm off by a microsecond, you know, I get it. I mean, you know, when I did my Hot Summers record, I was really nervous because I could go out and point out, you know, imperfections anywhere. But, you know, ultimately that's what we were going for. And, you know, like I said, I learned that from Ted, and I have much more comfortable state of mind regarding that now.
Yeah.
Who were some of the other producers that you were thinking about initially?
We we had a meeting with Bob Ezrin, who, you know, I just adored throughout history. I mean, I love his work, right? So we're sitting in this room, and Bob's sitting back, and he's all, you know, stoic and cool and implacable, and we're sitting there like, "What you got to say, Bob? What you got to say?" Okay, first of all, Bullet Boys, but but Bullet Boys, yeah, we're gonna have to do something with that. And everybody just went, and all the air sucked out of the room, and it lasted about 5 more minutes, and we were gone. I liked Brendan O'Brien. You know, although I don't know that we would have been a fit. I would love to have taken a meeting with him at that time, but ultimately everything worked out, you know, the way it should have. And you know, I had my issues with that record, and people will say, "Oh, Jesus, what a whiner! Quit complaining, man." But you know, when you have something, when you're hearing something in your head and it's not quite getting there, it's hard, and everybody out there can relate to that, I'm sure. But obviously, you start going to in stores, and people are jiving and digging it, and you play the songs live, and you know, it all comes around, and you learn to forget. I think any artist, when they release something that they're, you know, I don't know, maybe I'm the only guy that feels this way, but you can always do something better. You know, you start immediately thinking like, oh man, I could rewrite that bridge right now. Um, and you just have to sort of make friends with it. You know, I don't know who it was. Was it Sting who says, you know, songs aren't ever finished, they're just abandoned? And, you know, that's been kind of how I feel about things throughout my life. And I ultimately make friends with them, even if it's years later.
Yeah. Well, it's art, right? So you can come back and add to it. You can change it. It's, I think that, you know, I think artists generally are the hardest on themselves.
Yeah.
You know,
Hi, I'm right here.
Yeah, me too. You know, I don't think I'll ever put out any music because I'm kind of just nervous about what anybody would think about it.
Yeah, that's a feeling, man. It's a real thing.
Yeah. All right, we got some questions for you. Non-Sykes, gonna have a few of these tonight, boys. Mick, F number 9 still leaves rent free in my head. Raw tone, great riffs. For a 70s guy, where did your inspiration come from for riffs like that?
Well, I can tell you directly that song was heavily influenced by Dave Gilmour. That I don't even know the name of the song now. But that bend in that in the verse. I took that directly from Dave Gilmour, and that I think it's a keyboard bend in the song that I can't think of. But as far as 70s stuff goes, I was really into a weird cat named Kim Mitchell from Canada. He played in a band called Max Webster. I just loved what he was doing back then with the 335 and stereo deluxes. I'll never forget the first concert I went to see him. They were opening for Rush on the Farewell to Kings tour. and we got all stoned and just went to the front row because nobody was there yet. And we watched most of their set until the people came. Fuck, he had these big old balloon pants and playing that 335 with those deluxes. I was like, oh Jesus, this is heavenly. And then we got kicked out of the seats and went to the back of the hall, and I proceeded to have my buzz intersect perfectly with Rush's show, and I just stood there mesmerized. It's still one of the most amazing nights of my life. Another 335 with Alex, right?
Yeah, right.
Beautiful.
Oh, I wish I could have seen that show.
Oh my God, I was just stunned.
Wow.
I might have cried.
I might have cried. Michael Nielsen, what's up, buddy? Big Hairy Guitars. How are you?
I just saw Michael. He was here today.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I think I'm friends with Michael on Instagram.
Yeah,
probably.
He has.
Yeah, he's a wonderful player.
Oh, he's great. He's so great. Such a nice guy too. Funny too. Hey guys, I heard that Mick used a Tyler Strat on the first BulletBoys record, but the videos were all Les Paul. Did he use the Tyler? We did talk about that, but I was going to ask, how did you even come to know Tyler at that time? Because that's pretty early back in the day. Like
he was doing some work for me on. I mean, it might have been. What did I have back then? I had my Carvin DC 150. I had my 64 Strat. I didn't even get my. Oh, I got that Jackson Star in like 85. And I didn't get that Les Paul till 77. So, but yeah, I just found out about Jim somehow, and he was, doing my repairs and.
Yeah, he was a guy at the time. Yeah, he was a guy in LA, and he would do repairs and not only build his own guitars, but he would do repairs on other people's stuff. And
right. And he's just the sweetest cat. And I just fell in love with his demeanor, and I always wanted to end up with one of his guitars because he was telling me about, building them and everything. So yeah, Jim and I went way back.
Yeah, I was sorry to hear that he passed away recently.
Yeah, I got in touch with Rich. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say I have one of his guitars.
Yeah, good for you. That's awesome. I have yet to get one, but I will.
But you going to say you got in touch with Rich?
Yeah, and went over and Jim wasn't there. I don't think he was feeling well at the time, but just a great guy. What a legacy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Rich is a great guy too.
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah,
I've known Rich forever.
Yeah, I feel like Rich and I would like bond over movies. He's
you're a movie guy.
He's a big movie guy, and he loves like all the like science fiction and all that stuff. I think we would bond over that stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Pedrito is best. Thanks for the super chat. Hey Dave, I have a 100 watt 100 watt JTM. Can I run EL34s? And if so, what is the sweet spot on the bias?
100 watt JTM with JTM. So an old Plexi. Yeah, you can run EL34s. Probably about 35 milliamps a tube in there, depending on what the plate voltage of the specific amp you're talking about, because there's just saying JTM doesn't tell me too much.
What would that amp have come with originally?
If I think what I think it is it's a it might be a 45-100 amp, which is the 100 watt version of a JTM 45. Probably that's what he's talking about, and it would come with KT66s originally.
Gotcha. I was going to say KTs.
The old GEC KT66s, which now that would bankrupt you to put in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like $1,000 tube sets.
Wow.
if they're even good.
What you need to check though is that the screen grid resistors in the amp are 1K and not 470 ohm. So I need a little more info on your amp.
Okay. Send it in the regular chat, Pedrito, if you want, and I'll look for it.
Yeah, or send me an email like I always say.
Okay. Walrus, if getting on the Jose list right now, would it take until 2026 to receive it?
Probably not. No, we're working our way through it. There's a lot of people on the list, but probably really, only like 30% are actually buying it. So it's less than you think. So, I mean, it's still a lot of amps, but no, we're working our way through it pretty quick. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to fucking keep up. That's what the big problem is.
It's in production now, though, huh?
Yeah.
Good.
Ian Ferguson says, I finally got my email and ordered a Jose earlier this week.
Awesome.
So, hey, that's awesome. It came quick.
We were a little backed up on shipping them. So bear with us, but they'll go out.
What amp was used with your Candy Car band?
Oh. Wow.
Candy Car band. I don't even know.
It was my wife and I did like a kids record that kind of rocked. And we were listening to, we had a little guy at the time. And so we were listening to children's, music and a lot of it was kind of squirrely, to be honest with you. So we decided to make one that rocked. And I'm pretty sure I used a lot of my 50-watt that I got from Japan. So there was, some pretty gritty stuff on there. I think at the time I used my Bogner, the Shiva. But I think there's some Jose on there too. I kind of bounce back and forth, depending on the texture that I wanted to try to get.
What's the name of that album?
It's called Mick Sweda and the Candy Bar Band. Oh man, it's been a long time. Songs in the Key of Cool.
That's cool. I love it. Okay, that's great.
It should be out there somewhere.
I'll check it out.
Hit me up if you want a CD. Got a little kid and you have a CD, I got you.
No little kids.
My kids are grown up. They're all grown up, but but maybe it might be something for somebody else though. So that's cool.
I never know.
Yeah. I think this is for you. Hey Sway, do you ever play your Axe Victim guitar, or is it strictly relegated to your personal collection?
I think I know who's asking this too. Hi, Lisa. I love to play that guitar. I love it. I mean, it's been abused. It's been painted. I actually at one point put freaking screw hooks into it and hung it up on a wall. So it has been through the ringer with me and stays in tune, plays like a champ, sounds great. And that guitar will always be with me. And for those of you that don't know, before I went to college, my mom actually helped me out to buy this. I was always a double cut fan. And, back in the late 70s, you couldn't go online or just walk down the street and find, your favorite double cut. So I love that carbon. And, I love the splitting the coils and putting it out of phase and everything. That just seemed like a dream to me. So, I ended up with a DC 150 and it carried me through the first, basically my childhood. So still have it, love it. And it's modeled, the Axe Victim she's talking about is, you guys might have seen the Bebop Deluxe album cover, Axe Victim. I kind of had it painted like that. So
got it.
Gotcha.
That's cool. I remember the as a kid, the Carvin catalog.
Yeah.
They'd
always have a one-page ad in the back of a music magazine or something.
Yeah, I'm like, I wonder if this stuff's good.
Well, we ended up getting endorsed in King Cobra. Carmine ended up having these big metal racks that would kill you if they fell on you. And we had carbon stacks in there for a while. And, you tried to use some of their 100-watt amps, but we ended up moving on not too long after that. But I had the guitar. Easy.
Yeah, it wasn't the best sounding stuff.
No.
It looked kind of neat, but it wasn't the best sounding stuff.
Yeah.
Tracy Guns, what's going on? How are you? See you next week, Mick. See you later, Dave.
Tracy.
I'm going to his show later.
Yeah,
Today?
man. It'll be good to see you. I've never met Tracy, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah? What are you guys doing?
We're playing a place called, you might know it, the Arcada outside of Chicago. It's Lake Charles. How far is Lake Charles from Chicago?
Tracy's a sweetheart. You'll love him.
Yeah, sure. Good.
Yeah. I'm actually going to go to a show tonight down at the Whiskey.
Oh, wow. Okay.
At late.
Yeah, there's like 12 bands opening, right?
Yeah, probably, right? I avoid that.
How late is he going on?
11.
That's not too bad.
That's typical.
Yeah.
But the older you get, that's late.
Yeah, I know. I know it's late.
Come on, you guys. Let's go.
Let's see. Matt's Tube of You, thanks for the super chat. Hey, I was wondering if there's a specific piece of gear that caught Mick's ear and eyes lately. By the way, according to FedEx, my new Friedman Gel 50 arrives tomorrow. Can't wait.
Great.
Any new piece of gear that caught your eyes or ear lately?
Oh, wow. That's always a tough one for me because I'm such an old gear kind of cat. I don't really search many things out or have, my needs are kind of minimal, in what I need to do. Like somebody came over for a session the other day and they wanted to hear a particular sound, and I just went and pulled out something that I hadn't used in years, and it worked great. But yeah, now you got me thinking. I mean, I would probably just update my studio with a new interface to add to the one I have.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Do you find yourself? Sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say I'm working with Apollo stuff and UAD.
That's great, though.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, as long as the software works.
I haven't had a problem yet.
Okay, knock on wood.
Yeah,
knock on wood. I've had a few, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I'm also a newbie, so who knows? Maybe it was user error.
Yeah, I think the key words sometimes are be careful before you update.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's 100% true.
Yes, for sure.
Maybe wait a few months.
Wait to see if everyone else has problems.
Right. Or wait till your project is done at least.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true. I was going to ask you, do you find yourself like searching Reverb for old gear or anything like that, or are you kind of just like satisfied with the gear you have and you're not like looking for like new gear here and there?
A, yes. B, yes. I'm still determined to get a Mockingbird, like a vintage Mockingbird that still has frets on it. So that's one of the first things I'll look for. But if anything, like I rescued a TV White special from Germany. So if I see anything that's kind of oddball like that, like every time I go to your place, Dave, and I see that, is it a Crestline or a Wilshire?
Oh, the Epiphone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that was a good. Well, it's like one of those, but it was a guitar that was actually done. It was a signature model actually for a little while for the guy, one of the guys from My Chemical Romance. That's where I got it.
Oh, okay.
From. It was a reissue of that type of guitar. And actually, that's a pretty cool sounding guitar.
Oh, I love it, and that's one of the last thing I searched up. I wanted one of the custom shop. Mine's a Wilshire. Unfortunately, it's got humbuckers in it. I'm more of a mini P90 kind of cat.
Yeah.
But I mean, I see something like that, and I do kind of focus in and try my best to connect with it.
Yeah. It's weird. Sometimes you'll just search Reverb and you're just like looking around just randomly, and something pops up. You're like, oh,
whoa, let's go,
cool.
baby.
Yeah, I kind of want that.
That's always dangerous.
And then if you happen to be drinking, you're fucked because
you're like, fuck it,
buy it.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. That's when the wife comes in behind me and she's like, "What are you doing? Get out of there."
Nothing, as you're sipping your wine or something.
Don't hit by it now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, real quick. Oh crap! You scared me.
Too bad.
Yeah, it's too bad. That I have a Fawn Marshall over here.
Yeah,
and that happened to me. I was in New York with my family, and they were going to some play that I wasn't going to go see. So we walked to this place, and there's like, I'm just going to be down the street at, I don't know. I see down there's something that says bar. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go hang out there and have a drink or something. And yeah, you know, a couple hours later, after sitting at a full-fledged Irish bar with proper Guinness and proper pour and proper everything, and a few scotches in there mixed in there with it, and then I bought that amp.
I don't care what anybody says. I'm buying it.
I'm buying it. Fuck it. Click.
Yeah. I love that.
That's great.
We should. In fact, they should put more music stores next to bars. That makes a lot of sense.
Right? Exactly. That's it's bad.
That would be great. Non Sykes, thanks for the super chat. Mark, Dave, Mick, the one piece of gear you wish you didn't part with. Don't say the black flag, Dave.
Why can't I say the black flag? I want to say the black flag Jose that I had Jose make for me.
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't. I got rid of that.
One piece
but I also might say my first amp, which was a Silver Phase Fender Deluxe. I wouldn't mind having that. It was cool, and I wish I had it still.
I had an early Fender Champ Tweed Champ, like a 55.
Those are always cool. I had one of those too.
It was like I bought it for 500 back in the day. We're talking like 20, 25 years ago. I bought it for 500, sold it for 500.
I can think of other ones too. Like I remember I had a 100-watt Plexi PA head. I wish I still had. I had another 50-watt Plexi that had no Tolex on the box at all. It was like shellacked over. And then I remember I had this guy in Michigan mod it, Dan Russell. And that amp sounded amazing. I wish I still had that.
It's amazing to me that I heard that Terry Kath, he didn't play out of a Marshall PA head, but I think that was his main amp. He had some kind of a PA head that he plugged into to do all that Chicago stuff.
How good was he?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, great. So good stuff.
Well, I can give you a list of 3. Fuck, that 50-watt combo I was telling you about, that was my first real amp. And I got, in fact, the guy who does A&R for one of your competitors, Dave, convinced me to get rid of that to get a 100-watt, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but I still wish I had that combo. I used to put it on top of a slant 412 that I de-Tolexed and stained, and it was a pretty cool little rig, if I do say so myself. But then I had like a 75 Fender Telecaster Deluxe with the humbuckers. And it had, for whatever reason, it had a cigarette burn, right? Like where you'd put your arm, which I never understood. But I kind of wish I had that back too. And then a little gray Ross compressor. You guys are probably too young to remember those.
No, I know those.
So like I used to dime that thing. And you know how people would like in the old days, they just do like these hammer-ons really fast for a long time. And that would be impressive. It was supposed to be like some kind of exercise that everybody cheered on. Right. My thing with that Ross compressor was to just freaking hit a note and stand stock still, and that thing would just go for eternity. I love that little box.
Yeah,
just keep
those are cool.
Yeah,
you still get those?
Yeah, that's the last one I saw. It was like $500.
Fuck.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Noisy as hell, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can always get a Keeley one there, which is pretty much based on that, right?
I thought about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was one other piece of gear that it was a JCM 800, that 2203 original vertical input that I got from some store in New York and in the city, and I wish I still had it.
I wish I still had my orange cabinets, old vintage orange cabinets, because those are cool.
Actual orange.
A real orange, orange brand from the 70s. I kind of every once in a while I look around for one and I'm like, oh, I don't want to pay that much.
They put Celestians in those?
A lot of them had Celestians, yeah. A lot of them had Celestians, although the ones I had originally didn't. But I think I put some in. Can't quite remember, but today I would want them with Celestians. And you can find them, you can buy them, but I just don't want to pay that much.
Yeah,
I don't need it that bad. I really don't need it. That's the problem. I just want it. So there's a big difference in want and need. I mean, I was looking through a pedal bin of pedals I have, and I go, "The fuck am I going to do with all these pedals? Why do I have them in this bin? Why do I even own them? What am I doing with all these?" I mean, but a lot of them are like, I really love that one. I really love that one, but I don't use it ever, and same thing with a few guitars that are laying. I mean, I've whittled down the guitars a little bit, but there's some guitars in here that I don't really want. I don't need.
Let's have another sale.
Yeah.
We need to do that. We go Mick. We go live and we just sell our shit. Basically.
Oh wow, that's wild.
Yeah, you
show it on the camera. Hey, I got this. Blah 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 blah. And
if you want it, just email me. Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, it's a good little thing. Good audience to advertise.
Yeah, except the first time we did it, we've only done it once.
Right.
But the first time we did it, there were people complaining in the chat about us doing it. I'm like, why are you watching it then?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little slow, you're showing things, you're doing,
right. We're not talking about stuff.
Not talking about stuff. And okay, it's a gear sale. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Go away.
Yeah. I mean, you get the gist of it right away. You don't have to stay there.
Go away. If you want to keep watching, put it on in the background and you kind of keep glancing at it while you're doing something else. It's just, see what comes up for sale. Maybe there'll be something cool. There was a bunch of cool stuff.
I'm going to have a bunch of stuff. So,
well, let me know the next time you do it. I'll be there.
Okay. Yeah, we have good prices too.
Because that Epiphone will go up for sale, and then you'll be like, "Oh,
okay, yeah, I could use two."
Oh, did you get one?
Yeah, I got a custom shop. Yeah, it's nice.
Oh,
nice.
Thinking about taking it out, but I don't know.
So I wanted to ask you, Nick, how did you hook up with Carmine a piece to form King Cobra? How did that?
Well, I was at a point in my career where I was playing with three different bands. I had just quit playing in a cover band with my cool 50-watt rig, and figured if I was going to be in LA, I was going to have to start writing and start getting in original bands and doing something other than playing all night, 5 nights a week. So I did that, and I got a job at Tower Records. And out of nowhere, his manager came in and said, "Hey, are you a bass player?" And I guess he liked the way I looked and all that. And I said, "No, sorry, man. Next, maybe next time." And but I guess he remembered. So when they needed a guitar player, he had Carmine come in, and we had a chat, and it went pretty well. I wasn't necessarily a huge Carmine fan at that point, but it seemed like the next best step to getting out of Tower. So did the audition, got the gig. He said he really liked my playing, and that was it. We did a couple of weeks of pre-production and went into Pasha to make that first record.
I remember Pasha.
Yeah, with Spencer, Spend Your Profits.
Yes. Spend Your Profits, yeah.
Nice guy, but very wealthy.
Was that was a studio?
Yeah, it was a studio.
Yeah, he had a place. If you know where Paramount is, he had a place on the northwest corner of Gower and Melrose, and you went downstairs, and it was a big it seemed like a big complex at the time. I think now it's like a paint shop or something like that.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Most of the studios are gone now.
Yeah,
some of them completely gone. One-on-one is one-on-one again.
Yeah, my understanding is you can go and record your drums for like $400.
Now, I don't know about that, but you can.
Big discount from what we paid.
$400. I bet they wouldn't charge that though. I mean, that seems cheap, but I think it's I know the guys. I know the guys that own it now.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe they're different. This was I don't know, a couple of years ago when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
You see the drama recently with Sunset Sound?
Yes.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And I must say that guy Drew was an asshole.
Okay.
I'll back that whole story up. He's an asshole. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. And don't talk to Pete Thorne about him either.
Wow.
He was really a dick to him.
Okay.
He's like, I'm never going to use that studio ever again in my life if he's there.
I heard from somebody else also who's in the industry who told me that guy was a real asshole as well.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah. Well,
but he was an asshole.
Well, Sunset, they're not affiliated with him any longer, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So, and they took down
That'll
all their
happen.
interviews. Yeah. That sucks. Too bad for them. They seem like great people over at Sunset, but
killer reverb chamber. Jesus. Fuck.
Well, it's legendary. It's where Eddie
the reverb chamber. We did that when we were working there when I was doing my Two Notes IR pack, and we worked there, and we had an amp because we had to audition speakers and stuff, and which one you're going to use for the IR pack, and we had them bring up the reverb chamber. And just pull it up, on a fader, and it's just like, you're just like, oh my god, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
You were just like, that's the way,
Yeah, I remember seeing the one that Richie Podlar had up. He had a place called American Sound. I think it was in Woodland Hills or something like that. When we were doing the second King Cobra record, I just remember looking in that thing, going, "Holy shit! Who went in there and like treated the walls and did all that?" That thing seemed like it was endless.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they just have like a PA speaker in the middle of it.
Yeah,
just blast it out through the PA speaker. And I mean, the one at Sunset is like an old Altec one or something. Like some ancient thing that was good stuff back then.
What a luxury.
Yeah.
So Mick, what are your speakers of choice that you typically like to go
with? I like my greenbacks. I have some blackbacks that I like too, but with my amps and how I like to run them, a little hot. Sometimes the vintage 30s help to clean it up a little bit, and I'll use I have a 121, usually a 121 and a 421 together. I don't really use 57s very much, like a lot of people do.
Oh, really?
I think it just warms. That 421 just seems to add a little touch of warmth with just enough gloss.
Great. Was that how the album was recorded? Like back
no, those guys were like all 57s.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Most old rock records were either 57 or 57 and a 421 combo.
Yeah.
It was way before 121 ever came around.
Right.
And that's pretty much like the Bob Rock. That's the Brendan O'Brien. It's just those two mics, maybe a room mic, and that's still to this day. It's still the same.
Yeah. I was trying to for our Hot Summers record, I was trying to clean it up a little bit. I wanted to see what it was like to actually sort of back everything down. There's a couple of cases where I think I went maybe too far with that, but in general, I really like to think of my tone as being creamy, and warm and comforting, even though it might be a little more overdriven. I remember we were rehearsing with King Cobra at Mates, and your buddy Jake was there with Ozzy, and he walked in while I was playing, and he listened and he kind of tilted his head and he said, why don't you clean that up a little bit, man? And I said, well, I don't really want to sound like you. I kind of like where it's at. I'm good here. And that's kind of always where I've sort of maintained, just having that saturation that just feels good to my ear, that isn't biting. It's not buzzy. It's not sizzling.
Right.
But that's kind of where I like it.
Great.
Cool. Question: Pedrito is best. I think he's clarifying the Black Flag JTM KT88. He said, I have a
I think it's
EL34.
KT66, but that's generally what came in it originally.
Oh, it's a Sierra tone, however you pronounce it.
Oh, okay. Well, who knows what was in it then? What? Not like Tracy's. Oh, okay.
You can run EL34s in them, sure.
Yeah, you probably can, as long as that has 1K screen grid resistors. But if it had KT88s in it, it does. So, yeah, you'd be able to bias it, probably. If not, you just have to change the resistor, and you can make it happen.
Yeah,
nice,
cool.
There's hope.
There's hope.
There's hope.
Non-Sykes, thanks for the super chat. Mick, it's human to be competitive. You don't strike me as the type, but were there anyone who scared you to follow or play before? Lynch, Goldie, anyone who gobsmacked you?
Wow, that's a great question. I can't think of anyone because I've never viewed music as a competition. I've always felt like my goal as a guitar player was to carve out a niche of my own. And I feel like in a lot of ways I've done that. I think maybe, to some people, my playing could be identifiable. And that's always really been my thing. I loved back in the day, to shred. I remember my roommate came in one time. He's like, Mick, hey, do you think you can go any faster? So I totally love the whole shred thing, but it's never been my goal to do that. Frankly, my approach to guitar is that it's a tool to get out what's in my head. And that isn't always something technically brilliant. So yeah, I've always been very comfortable with, within myself and my style. Although I love the people I opened for, whether it was Kim Mitchell with King Cobra or opening for Ozzy with Zach, anybody you can name, I've always enjoyed watching. I've even read, when we were out with Winger, I made sure I caught one particular song of his where he was vamping, out at the end. I loved it, man. I was just really had a great time watching other people do what they do.
Yeah, Reb's great. Great player. Let's see. Let me get to 4. Sell lefty stuff, Mark. Yes, I actually have a few lefty guitars I will sell. So saving it for the show. Because it's a lot easier than.
Are you a lefty or you just have them?
He's a lefty.
No, I'm a lefty. Everything that you see is
all backwards.
Yeah. I should have been a righty.
Camera hasn't reversed it. It really is reversed.
It really is reversed. Exactly.
So what? But, so you do you have a righty that you had to restring, or like how does that work?
No, they're left-handed guitars.
I just bought lefty.
You never had a righty?
No, I did the Hendrix thing once.
Okay.
Yeah, just to try it. But yeah, no. I started out on like a red Squire, lefty Squire. It was
nice.
I always say what freaks me out is when someone's a lefty like Eric Gales, but plays a right-handed guitar, literally a right-handed guitar strung right-handed, but just upside down.
Yeah.
And then all the chords are backwards, everything's backwards, and you're like looking at it going,
right. And somebody asked me about that the other day, and I said, well, if that's all you've ever done, if that's how you've learned to play it, it's perfectly natural, right? Just like Jeff Healey,
Yeah, like I was going to say, like Jeff Healey playing flat on his lap, right?
Mm-hmm.
That guy, he was great. I saw him.
Yeah,
once.
He was wonderful.
Saw him once.
That was amazing that Philip Sayce played with him. I didn't even know that prior to Philip coming on the show.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Started his whole career.
Yeah. Jeff had the fire. You can identify the fire in a player almost immediately. For me, at least I can, and I just love that. That's my favorite aspect of guitar playing.
Yeah,
I agree wholeheartedly. The fire.
Yeah. And you can see when someone doesn't have it. It's just whether it's just technical proficiency or, not really having a conversation. It's it's easy to see the guys that don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Mick, when you were starting out, what were your influences? Thanks, Richard.
Well, starting out, I'm going back to, high school dances and playing Neil Young songs with really extended solos and trying to learn them at that point. So that was for me, where I learned to, at least try to simulate some of his leads. They were, easy enough to try to approximate. So we played a lot of that, a lot of Alice Cooper, Aerosmith, although there's some Joe stuff that I still can't quite figure out. Yeah, all the 70s stuff that you can imagine playing back then at, high school dances or bars when you're underage. So I was just doing my best to try to Ted Nugent actually come to mind. I mean, it's hard to think of him as a guitar influence, but back then for me, he was the guy, and he would stand in front of those Fenders and just freaking reef on that string. That's something that even to today is just, makes the hair on my neck stand up. So yeah, those are kind of my main cats back then.
That's cool. Joe Perry, man. I still, in some ways he's underrated, I think.
Yeah.
Just such a great player. The solo and Train Kept a Rolling just still blows my mind every time I hear it. I don't know.
Are we sure that wasn't Rick Derringer though?
Well, I was about to say, thanks for saying that. It was that somebody else who played that?
It might have been one of Bob Ezrin's guys too, Steve Hunter or Dick Wagner. Because it sounds a lot like one of those guys. If you've ever heard Intro to Sweet Jane on Lou Reed's Rock and Roll Animal record, the way that Steve and Dick played, I mean, it is very similar to the way that Train Kept a Rolling solo sounds to me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have heard over the years that it wasn't him, but I never heard definitively.
And you wonder why? Like what happened? Was he high and didn't make it to the session, or did somebody just?
Yeah.
Right. I mean that's the bigger question to me. Like, why the hell didn't you play it, Joe?
Yeah. What happened? Definitely interesting story. Michael Savage, thanks for the super chat. Ready to Strike is a killer album. What is your favorite song from that album?
Wow, good question. I got to play Dave. Dave Henderling had most of that written by the time I joined the band. So we kind of split up some of the solos, and I really liked playing Second Thoughts. It's funny how that record it kind of weaved its way into the metal genre somehow. But to me, those songs are like power pop gems, some of them, So I'm coming from more of a melodic side. That was one of my favorite tunes to play. I always tried to add, something that was a little more melodic and a little less histrionic.
Were you involved in any of the songwriting for King Cobra?
Just on one tune. Everything was pretty much there, except for a song called, it's like a ballad, Burning with Desire or something like that, which I ended up contributing to.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it deserved a better fate, like a lot of records.
Yeah. Michael Gollinger, Mick, Smooth Up Inya is still the best stripper song ever.
I think there are some strippers that would agree.
For sure.
That is great. Thanks for that.
I don't know. Somebody came on our bus one time and said, dude, we're #1 as a stripper song. And I'm like, who keeps that, documentation?
Who keeps that chart?
Yeah, exactly.
I want that job.
Totally. But yeah,
the other stripper songs, some of the other ones later on in the eras have been a lot of Deftone songs too.
Yeah,
they were big stripper songs. White Pony.
Got some sexy grooves in there.
Yeah.
Great.
Such is my legacy.
You're playing in Smooth Up and you influenced me and tried to cop that feel on some things, and Joe Perry did not play the Train solo. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought so.
Do
you
you know
hear
who,
it enough, it must be true.
Yeah. Do you know who played the Train Kept a Rollin' solo, Dave?
Was it Mike Hunter, I thought? I don't know. Mike Hunter.
Mike Hunter. Okay.
Yeah, wasn't it the
Or
guy?
Steve Hunter,
sorry.
and Dick Wagner.
Yeah.
But I don't think Ezrin produced that record.
Yeah,
that was Get Your Wings, so that would have been Jack producing that record. So I don't know what the connection is.
Yeah, I'm not much sure.
Oh, one guy said Hunter took the first solo, Wagner took the second solo on Train Kept a Rollin'.
That makes sense to me.
That's funny that I would pick that solo as one of my favorite Joe Perry solos.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
My band opened for Truth, Lies, and Deceit in Vegas back in like 2015-ish, I think. They had Andrew Friedman on vocals at the time. Got to meet Mick, super cool guy and great tone. They sounded amazing. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you. Yeah, that was fun. That was we weren't getting along with Mark, surprisingly enough. And so we the three of us got together because we have, I mean, with Jimmy and Lonnie, even though we've all had our issues, it's and you guys might understand this, there's certain guys you play with that just, it feels right. You don't have to look over your shoulder. You're not worried about somebody freaking clamming, and if they do, they're right back in it. And that's just the greatest feeling. It's very freeing. And I don't really have to adhere to any guidelines. I don't have to, cop licks that I've played a million times before. I can improvise wherever I want. And if one of us goes in a direction, like, in a crossfade, or just happens to, if something fucks up and somebody goes somewhere, we're always there, and that's really hard to find, having played in many other bands. So that's what that was. Lies, Deceit, and Treachery was kind of us getting together with, a singer that we didn't have to babysit or beat up. And it was great.
Andrew Freeman.
Good time. Yeah.
Yep. I know Andrew really well. He's a great vocalist.
Yeah, sounded great.
Mm-hmm.
Got pipes.
I just had the question that was like right here. What happened to it? Shit. It was right here. I'm sorry. I totally like dropped the ball on the question.
It happens.
Yeah.
Only when it's live.
Yeah. I can't. I had it like set right here. I don't know where it is. Let's see. Maybe this is it. No, this is not it. Anyway, this is it. The new Tonex One pedals released today. Did you see? They're releasing Jim Galstad they're finally releasing the other packs for the.
Yeah.
The brown sound.
Cool.
You sound very interested.
It's not a real amp.
I
don't care.
I don't care. Right, well.
I mean, it sounds good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Jim did an amazing job, but I mean, I'm just like, I don't care that much. I don't care that much. You know what? I like old gear. Nothing new is good. How's that?
All right. You're having an old man.
Except maybe my amps.
I'm with you, brother.
No,
I got a room.
It's not an old man thing. It's just like I just don't. There's more to it than just even the sound. It's even the look, and it's everything. And maybe that is an old man thing. Okay, but
no, I think
it makes me happy to look at an amplifier.
For me,
especially a beat up one. I love that.
I use both things. I can embrace both, and enjoy both things.
I mean, okay, yeah, sure. If you can fuse it all together, sure. I mean, I just did a rig for Steph Carpenter from the Deftones, which really fuses modeling stuff mixed with tube amps, and it was really cool in the end. It sounded heavy as fuck. I mean, it was great. It's roaring. But And now we got to finish the second one. But that's not my problem right now. I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going on vacation next week.
Are you? Where are you going? Are you going to Tahoe?
I'm going to Lake Tahoe and hang out at the lake for a week.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice there.
What were you going to say, Mick?
Oh, I was just going to say it'd be interesting to see that the house guy, which fader he's going to ride. Is he going to ride the speakers? Is he going to ride, the plug? What's he?
Yeah,
I'd be interested.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's the house guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Then there's him.
This was the question I was looking for. Did Mick ever get offered a gig that was amazing, but you passed on?
Not amazing. But yeah, later on in life, I found that my time was sometimes more important than just playing for the sake of it. On the other hand, I just met up with some guys that are playing these current hits, like none of which I've heard. I didn't the songs they gave me, I didn't know anything about. And I don't know if you guys know about this current phenomenon. I just learned about it, but they're isolating vocals of pop tracks and then building like heavy rock tracks underneath them. For example, Lady Gaga and somebody named Roan Chapel or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fascinating because the tracks sound really cool and they're really fun to play, but they originate from these syrupy, keyboardy pop tracks.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting to me, and it's fun to play. And I'm digging these guys and how they're going about it. But it's it remains to be seen how it turns out. So yeah, would I take a gig that is fun to play but doesn't really do anything for me? Yeah. Would I take an amazing gig that paid well but I don't like? Probably not.
Probably not.
At this point in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Good question though. I'm still trying to think about that. It's been a long career.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Mark has an amp turned on in the back, it seems. Do I? Nope. They're all off.
Yep.
You're like, oh shit, how long has that been on?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What did I leave on?
How many days has that been going?
That's some other buzz in your ear,
right? No, you got me though, Felipe. Let's see. What other questions we've got? Mick, non-psychs. One of my favorite touring memories was a rather attractive girl holding a sign that said, "Hey, Rob, I'm 18. Got any stories from the stage that stand out?"
Who? Nothing maybe that
you should repeat.
Yeah. or that, like cringily seductive. But yeah, I mean, I've been grabbed numerous times, thankfully without too much pain and agony. Guitar strings getting grabbed, almost getting pulled off, but I've always been a kind of a sturdy cat, so I've been able to avoid any serious injury or guitars breaking. But yeah, those were the days. I mean, we just played a show the other night and they had a big barricade up, and so there was like 4 feet in between us. And I don't know, man. I think I'd rather get grabbed than have to, be so far away. It was all in fun. I mean, I loved it. Although, God, we were opening for Kiss on their Asylum tour, and we were playing some kind of weird places. I think it was all I can think of is Hammond, Indiana, or Elkins, something like that. And we were playing the song where at the very end we all kind of held our necks up and stood there poised for the final button, and fucking somebody whipped a Jack Daniels bottle and hit me square in the eye.
Oh shit.
And I just went, okay, that wasn't good. And I ran back. I said, my cut. And he goes, no, you're good. So I ran back out there and we hit the button, finished the song, lights went out, and I finished the set, but fuck, it blew up later on that night.
I bet.
And that was probably, I mean, I'm always going to remember the bad things, right? Like all the good shows we did, and I think of that. But yeah, I mean that you have some close calls out there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
How long ago was that?
We were out with them in 80. It must have been 86 or something.
Wow.
It was nice out. And I remember all the religious zealots were having a hard time with us at that time. It was kind of weird. Like you wouldn't think of that happening anymore, but it was going on.
That's fucked up. People are such assholes.
Yeah. I really wish they would have caught the guy and done something with him, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Paul felt bad.
There was like a string of that stuff happening in recent concerts, like pop concerts where people were performing and people were throwing shit at the artist.
Yeah.
At the artist.
Yeah. What are you doing? Well, why
I
are
mean,
you
that
going?
used to happen all the fucking time.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I used to see shows all the time where people were tossing shit and they'd like stop, and you're like, we're gonna stop if you keep, we're not gonna play anymore if you keep throwing things.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Got lucky.
Yeah. You gotta.
And of course, this day and age, you couldn't get a Jack Daniels bottle into the concert.
Right.
Yep.
True. That's
unless you had a really large ass and you shoved it up.
Yeah.
But,
they don't check your boots.
Yeah. Purposeful porpoise. Couldn't you leave an amp on 24/7? Isn't that how tubes were designed to function?
Yeah, you can. Technically, sure, you can. It gets warm.
Yeah, they loosen up, I think.
It gets warm. I mean, you can for sure. Yeah. It's not going to hurt anything, really.
G-Man says, Dave, if you want killer Italian food in Tahoe, go to Scusa's. It's on the South Shore.
I think I know about that place. I've been there a few times. This is the third time going in the summer. Rent a cabin, you hang out at the lake. It's just fucking wonderful. It's like beautiful.
Is there a studio up there too? Didn't Coverdale and Page?
I think Coverdale has
I
think they have Coverdale has a studio at his house somewhere up there.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. I think it's at his house. But yeah, it's nice up there. Every time I go up there, I'm like, I wish I lived here.
Yeah. Not bad.
I could take the simple life right now in a little town. It's okay.
That's
okay.
Nice.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
We were out with Poison, and we had finished our set, and I was sitting on our bus on the ramp and just having a piece of pizza, and this SUV pulls up and Jimmy Page gets out, and I'm sitting there holding this piece of pizza like, okay, I'm not that guy. Am I going to be that guy right now? Put the pizza down. I'm out there, Jimmy, man, fucking love you. And I'm, always listen to your records and think you're great, bro. Whatever I said. Oh, it's all right, mate. Cool. He goes in, and I guess he ended up jamming with CeCe that night, and to the point where like Ricky and Bobby, the bass player and the drummer, just left the stage, and those two were up there just playing guitars in front of 18,000 people. But then Jimmy, I guess, I don't know how many bindles they were in, but I think he stepped into one of their holes on the stage and busted up his collarbone or something like that. I heard about it the next day.
Oh, wow.
It's like, oh my God, I got to
When
shake
was
his
this?
hand before he broke it. We were out with them in 91, I think.
Yeah,
and that's what made me think of it. I think they were working on some record up there at Dave's house or whatever.
Oh, interesting.
But that was pretty wild.
Yeah. Wow.
That's crazy.
CeCe DeVille and Jimmy Page playing together.
I'm a hard time. I'm having a hard time with that in my brain.
I'm sorry I missed it, frankly. If I
Yeah,
known
that
what was
would've been
going
wild.
on, I would have gone back in.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Did you see that Jimmy just came out with a new amp with Mitch, the Sun Dragon Nymph? Did you see
Yeah,
that?
little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm curious what the details are on that. It's supposed to kind of cover heavy, like from a broader range of tones, let's say, at a smaller combo package.
I'm sure it's cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I wish we could get Jimmy on the show. Like,
I tried.
I know you did. It's just not going to happen.
I had a firm no.
I
went through Mitch Colby to try to do it, but
Yeah.
I had a firm. Well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I think he did ask though, but I think I got then finally a firm no.
Hey, I appreciate Mitch.
You know, hey, you can, it can't hurt to ask, right?
No, of course. I mean,
I would love that because he loves talking gear, from what I understand. He knows everything he used on every fucking record and exactly how it was done and every little detail.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Wasn't he like a Supro cat in the early days?
Well, he had Supro and Vox AC30 and the Marshalls and a lot of stuff was on AC30 and a Telly early on. But the Supro, the main thing was Marshalls, Supros. I think there was a high watt thrown in there too.
Yeah, I bet.
The Telly was a lot. The Les Paul was some. Doesn't have like a huge gear thing. It just there were some distinct things that he used.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a friend, producer, songwriter John Shanks. He ran into him. He literally said he was going out of his hotel in London once, and he was literally going out the fucking door, going someplace, and he literally ran into him, like physically ran into him, and then he evidently had briefly met him one other time, and at first he was like, Jimmy, remember John Shanks? I met you, blah blah blah. And it took Jimmy a second, and then he's like, oh yeah, and then they sat out there in the street, he said, for like 45 minutes talking gear and stuff.
Wow.
And all the details of all this stuff. John was asking him all these questions. And I go, that's what I want, but I'm not going to get it.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah.
David Stremold, Mick, I love the first King Cobra album. 1985 was a huge year for hard rock. I saw KK at the Rainbow Music Hall in Denver and really dug your Red Jackson. Can you share the story?
Oh, wow. Yeah, they were doing the bolt-on stars back then. And, in my customary way, I wanted to have something that was customized for me. So I ordered this neck through, had them bevel the edges. Pointy guitars weren't such a horrific thing to have back then for me. And so that was an original. I mean, it wasn't something that they had in production. They just made that for me. And I think it was, the first and only version of that guitar. In fact, you can tell because the access to the upper frets, I never had them kind of bevel out, that area where you could hit, some of those higher notes. So, it's got some flaws, but it sounds freaking great. I mean, it's all over the second BulletBoys record with that Jose, and it's an amazing sounding guitar. I don't use it much anymore, but yeah, that was something that garnered a lot of comments. Let's put it that way back then. And I think since they've kind of make guitars in that style now. So,
did you work with Grover back then?
Must have been Grover.
Yeah, I wonder if I didn't start out. Yeah, it was Grover. It must have been Grover at that time.
Okay. Yeah. I just saw, I sent you the link that Grover is now working with J Rocket Audio.
Isn't that old? That video is like a year old.
That video is a year old?
Yeah.
I thought it was just released.
Am
I wrong?
I thought it was a year old.
Hang on.
It's cool that Grover's still
No,
going.
you know what? You're 100% right.
Yeah, it was a year old, and if you look at the guitars still on the website for sale, most of them are still for sale. I think it was just a run.
Yeah, and you know what? You're 100% right. It was a year ago. That popped up on my feed like it was brand new.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I looked at it and I go, "Oh, this is a year ago." I didn't even hear about it at the time.
Yeah, I never saw this
maybe
video.
I did. I'm J Rock. J-Rocker guy was talking about it, I think. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, you still there, Mick?
Yeah, I got to find us now. I don't know why I tried to do that. Where am I at here? Hold on.
We hear your voice, but we don't see
Yeah,
you
I'm not far.
anymore.
I'm not far.
There you go.
There you are.
Yeah. Hey.
There you are. Long time no see.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Back at you. Let's see. Wait.
Some guy Fishball. Did Mick talk about his Black Les Paul Deluxe?
No, he hasn't.
Owens Brigade sticker.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was actually.
I'm gonna get a bottle of water.
I had a custom when I was a kid. It was what they called a fretless wonder at the time.
Yeah.
So that didn't last long with me, but this was the next Les Paul I got. And I think it was a guy. In fact, I know it was a guy from the motels who was selling it.
Oh,
and
really?
I think there is video, or at least a still of Martha playing it. But yeah, I just wanted to, get something something a little heavier, something a little different from what I was using at the time. And it was a good price. So I got it. I think it had the two P90s in it at the time. And I put Seymour Duncan Mini and of course added the bone sticker and played it in that smooth up video, which was basically a 24-hour shoot. And that thing weighs about almost 11 pounds.
Oh,
So
geez.
I was freaking ruined by the time we finished that video. And yeah, I mean, it's become quasi iconic. I know I went to a show a few years ago and somebody came up with a Les Paul copy with the bone sticker on it. And he goes, Mick, I got my bones. Like, so yeah, okay. It's cool. And it sounds great. I still love it. It plays like a champ. But we were up opening for Great White somewhere, and it showed up in my room with the headstock. I guess it had water damage. So the plate on the headstock was all freaking gnarled up and the wood was kind of falling apart. So it kind of pissed me off and scared me. I thought I was going to lose that guitar because it was in pretty bad shape, but I since had it repaired and it's been great.
Great. Doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like you sell anything ever.
Oh, dude, I too much. I mean, I haven't in many years. But yeah, there are some things that I would love to have back. Like I gave you my 3 things that I'd love to get back, but there's also this an ESP, what they call the Phoenix, which was a Firebird style guitar that I freaking loved. And I don't know why I ever got rid of that. It's just like my Soldano. I had a great Soldano too that I loved. And at the time I didn't feel like it fit what I was doing. So I didn't really have a problem at the time, but fuck, I wish I had it back now.
Right.
Yeah.
I could make it work.
Yeah, I could make it work. It's another little piece of your studio.
Yeah, you guys raised you said something about a Soldano mod in a Marshall, which I didn't even realize he did, but I guess it makes sense, right?
He did some, yeah. And they actually came out really cool because it was like it was the Soldano circuit of the SLO, but it was a little bit twisted into the Marshall vein too. So it kind of was like if you kind of fuse the two. So they're pretty cool.
I could imagine it having just a little more weight than the Soldano did. Like I always felt like the Soldano didn't have like a serious kind of bottom end for me, which is what I miss.
I think the Marshall mods had a little more mids, like they had a little more of the mid range kind of meat in the mids. So that's where it was better in some respects. Also, in a Marshall, technically speaking, in a Marshall, the filtering isn't as stiff as it was in a Soldano, which kind of robs a little life to me. The stiffness of the filtering. I like a little gooier filtering of the Marshall. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds.
Yeah. I'll take gooey and creamy anytime.
Yeah.
those original Soldanos now, anything that was built by Mike the prices have jacked up.
Oh, don't tell
me. I haven't
me
looked at it recently. How high are they?
I don't want to know.
I'm gonna make me sick after I sold the one for certain. I actually sold the one for a lot of money, but
yours was special.
The one that it was Mike Landau's originally. Yeah.
Yeah, that has some lineage.
Yeah, but I might have, if I waited, I might have sold it for more.
I think they're up between 6,000 and 8,000, depending on what year.
Well, what do you guys know what he's doing differently now? I mean, are they significantly?
Well, the Soldano amps now. Changed? I mean, the Soldano amps now are great. It's the rack mount Soldano amp that they made recently is very much just like the original, but an improved loop, which was everyone always wanted. The rack mount purple SLO one they make currently is fucking pretty badass. I have to admit, and it looks cool.
Oh yeah, it looks awesome.
It's wow. It's good to hear.
Cool. Yeah, Mike's still behind it. I mean, he's still involved with the design and stuff, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, Mike's involved. Mike's involved still. It's just the same BAD who does my amps also is involved is basically owns part of the company. So it's just that Mike is still involved, but
I have the
he's not running it.
Their new preamp is awesome too.
Yeah, that's great.
What is it called again? I forget what.
X88
X88
is it IR?
Yeah, the X88 IR. Yeah. Braxel says, anyone that buys the Friedman Jose will not be disappointed. I've had mine for 3 weeks now and have a set of backup power tubes for it from Dave. Awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I tried. So far, we've only had one person return one.
Because they didn't like it?
Yeah. I don't know why. Either that
I'll take it.
They regret it. Yeah, I should get you one to check out.
Yeah, it'd be nice to hear.
Yeah.
Could it be them too?
Yeah, I was going to say compare them to your original. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it does more than yours does. It does all the other little things that he had done too. So it's like a kitchen sink of Jose's in one box. But I can tell you how to set it to be pretty much identical to yours.
Yeah, give me a starting point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one, my Jose's got more knobs than I care to fuck with, but
it's not that many. But
well, look at who you're dealing with here. But yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll do that. I have one here.
Non-Sykes, Mick, if you could play with any lineup and make the style of music you wanted, what would it be?
Any lineup?
Oh wow.
I loved I had Tony Franklin play on one of our tunes on the Hot Summers.
Oh, he's great.
I love Tony. Although I love Mr. DeLeo too. He's in fact when we first it's funny when we first we were in the studio doing our first record, and I guess some money came in and they allocated it to me to go get my touring rig. So I went to a place over on Sherman Way. It was a boogie place on Sherman Way, just a little place there. And
other work, right?
Lab Sound.
Yeah. What was it called?
Lab Sound.
Lab Sound.
Yep.
That's right. And Mr. DeLeo was there, and I didn't know him at the time. And he sold me one of those big ass preamps with every fucking tube you could imagine in it.
Quad preamp, probably.
It was a quad 4. And we ended up calling it the Tragedy 400, the power amp. And so I got that because I wanted all my effects to go through boogie stuff and then have dry Marshalls out actually in the center, and then my stereo effects on the outside. But he ended up, and I know I'm getting off tangent here, but I ended up buying boogie cabinets too with the EVs in them. And I don't know how many dates we ended up doing, but the night after night, I'm listening back and I'm thinking, why everything it sounds so cloudy? Why is everything so freaking cloudy? I mean, I'm busting my ass trying to get a nice sound out of this stuff, and it just every night after night, it was just like, man, it's like there's a freaking veil over my sound. And at that point, we just got some Marshall cabinets. And going back to what we were talking about earlier with the orange cabinets, I mean, you can't underestimate what a difference they make. And as soon as I got those Marshalls lined up, just like everything, it was like the curtain dropped, right?
Well,
And
EVs,
I could hear what I was doing.
Yeah. EVs are a little bit veiled and dark. They're a little bit, they can be cool, but they take a lot of top end. You need to really dish a lot of top end out of it. They can be dark sounding and a little bit kind of like congested at times.
And I think that's what I was going for. I didn't want like any kind of sheen or tinniness. I wanted it to be warm, even dark, but it was too much.
Yeah.
But
makes sense.
Man, did I miss the original? Oh, yeah, I'd love to. As far as a drummer goes, man, there are so many good ones out there. I'll come back to
that. Stockdale's Guitar Explorer. Thanks for the super chat. Don't see a question.
Oh, I think it's below it.
It is.
Or wait, no, maybe above it.
All right,
I see it above it in the chat.
All right, let me get there.
It was two above the super chat.
I know. I'm just scrolling. It's just taking me a second to scroll to it.
Okay, I got it. Okay, got it.
Mick, has SoundCloud helped you in any way? What platforms are good for future musicians? Obviously not Spotify. Trying to send. How do I donate? Looking.
Wow. Okay, SoundCloud hasn't, although I can't say that I've utilized all the components of SoundCloud. I probably am the last person to ask about any of that because I'm such an old school dude. I mean, I still have, I buy CDs. So that's an interesting, the landscape is so different from what I'm accustomed to, and I haven't necessarily rolled with the changes, if you will. So I'm not the right person to ask about that, but you can certainly send me an email and you can tell me how. When you find out, let me know.
Richard Nagamastu Mitsu. Mick, outside of music, what are your other passions?
Well, I love to play hockey. I'm a hockey fan through and through.
Hey, that's cool.
Growing up in Buffalo, I'm a diehard Sabres fan, which has been pathetic for the last 15 years. But when that championship finally comes, whether it's the Bills or the Sabres, I'll be the guy crying in the street. But yeah, I love to play hockey. I'm an avid reader. I'm a history fan. Like military history is my thing. I think I just read my first fiction book in probably over a decade, and it was based on Alexander's foray into Afghanistan. So I can't even get away from military history with my fiction. Apart from that, I'm a family guy. I love my kids. I love my wife and just hanging out. And being in my studio, that never changes. I think I'm really kind of into what I think a lot of people refer to as post-rock now, which is kind of ambient, almost cinematic soundscapes. And so in addition to, recording stuff with Rocket Mafia and Hot Summers, that's really what I want to do, is get into sort of exploring different avenues of textures and ambience, like I said.
Cool.
That's very cool.
I was into hockey all growing up too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I was in Detroit originally. Yeah, I played for years.
Oh yeah, they must have had some pretty smoking teams where you grew up. I didn't have a high school team. My mom used to take me to like this travel team to Erie, but that was I never got to really play anything other than rec.
Yeah. I played, I think, 1 year in a high school team. But yeah, it's fun. I loved it.
Do you still watch the pros?
I do sometimes when I care what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed. I don't watch a lot of sports. I never was. Even when I played sports, I didn't really watch a lot. But yeah, I do like hockey. I do miss a little bit of old hockey though, compared to new hockey. You know what I mean? Like
I know what you mean.
It was a little more violent, a little more.
Yeah.
I don't know, a little more
clutchy, grabby,
edgy.
Yeah.
Which I kind of appreciated. If I really care, I'll be watching the Stanley Cup or something. If I got a team in the fight, I'm going to go to the bar down the street and I'm going to watch.
Well, he was rooting against me. He was rooting for Edmonton.
Because Edmonton's like a classic team. Come on.
I was rooting for the Panthers, so
Florida shouldn't have a hockey team. It's Florida.
They do. They do, and they've got Stanley Cups, and Canada doesn't.
Yeah, I know, but it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
I understand.
But not as sad as being a Sabres fan. Believe me.
That's true.
I swear to God, if one more expansion team wins the Cup before the Sabres do, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Find a new team.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Zeke Downey, thanks for the super chat. Hey guys, you maybe consider having Dave Hillis on. He is mixing songs for my band Somber Side, engineer who's recorded Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Chris Cornell. I can help him on, has many stories. I've never heard of him, but okay.
I've never heard of him either, but I believe you.
Yeah, all right, cool. Well, good luck. Yeah, thanks, Zeke. Let me know. You can send me an email. Mad Max, can you tell us any details about the next Friedman 20-watt amp release, Dave?
The PX20?
That's the Phil X. When is that coming?
As soon as it's completely right.
Oh, you haven't finished it?
Well, yeah, sort of. There was a couple little problems, so I had to get another board set. So we got to build yet another prototype of it. And then should be right. And then we'll put it into production, which then takes a while. But you'll see it around NAMM probably, to be honest.
I was just about to say, probably around.
Yeah, you'll see it around NAMM. It's really killer, though. It's really good.
It's coming up.
You're going to like it.
Here fast, like Christmas.
You're going to like it. Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah, it'll be here very fast.
I'm going to be there. I will be at NAMM.
Yes, you will, huh?
I will be there that Friday and Saturday. I won't be there Thursday. So I think that's the way it's going to work out. So we got time. Michael Savage, being from Buffalo, did you ever jam or cross paths with Billy Sheehan?
No, but when my band, the Pedestrians, were playing around the same time as Talus was, we would be the guys that would fill in when they double booked. In other words, hey man, Talus is supposed to be here tonight, but I don't know, they must have taken a better gig. Can you guys get here and fill in? And yeah, that was us. So, wow. Hey Billy, we had your back, brother. Talus was a great band, though. They were a great
band, yeah.
Yeah.
They were pretty badass at the time.
Yeah, and that little record they did in Buffalo is still a fun listen. Yeah. I have it.
I was just saying, I've never heard it.
You ever heard any Talus?
No.
Yeah, I'll Mark, make a copy of it.
Get it.
Can you get it? It's like on YouTube. You can listen to it, probably.
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah.
I haven't looked it up.
I have to listen.
Yeah, Billy's got some sick stuff going on with that rig of his.
Yeah, he's just riffing and just like it's fucking insane.
Yeah, it doesn't even sound like a bass. It sounds like some rocket like taking off.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, the guitar player was great too, though.
Yep, knew where to play, where not to. It was great.
Purposeful Porpoise says we've got plenty of ice in our quickie marts here in Florida, Dave.
Nope, sorry, it's still not a hockey town.
It's cold.
Sorry.
Go, Dave, go.
If I had my way, it would only be the original fucking teams.
Buffalo, New York.
The Wings, yeah.
The Wings were original team.
The Wings are on the same path as the Sabres, so
yeah, well, yeah, they haven't been doing so good.
We're all
lately.
missing the playoffs.
Yep.
So you got Buffalo, home of Rick James and Mick Sweda.
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
So Spyro Gyra.
Sweet.
Yeah, there's some other cats.
Well, Buffalo should, speaking football, which I can't wait for football to start. I know you mentioned, do you follow the Bills? Are you?
Every time I get hooked on a game, I end up watching it, but I'm not really that much of a football fan.
Okay. Yeah.
But I hope they win. And when they do, I'll go back.
Yeah. Well, they're saying this might be their year. Who knows? We'll
Every
see.
year.
I know.
Damn, let's get there, boys. Get it in the garage.
They got to do it while Josh Allen is, there and healthy.
Yeah.
Is Mark a Bucks fan? When my Dolphins start really sucking it up, I go over to the Bucks side. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna watch the Buccaneers. They were great with I'm drawing a total blank on their quarterback right now. But anyway, he's a great quarterback. Just it's been a while since I've talked football. It's been like 6 months, and I lost my vocabulary. Like I forgot the people who played for him and stuff. I'm a Bucks fan. Used to live in Tampa. Yeah, I took my son to one of the games there. It was great, actually.
I think there's another super chat.
Yeah,
missed.
getting there.
Non-Sykes again.
Non-Sykes. Thanks for the super chat, man. Thanks for all your efforts doing this for 8 years, Mark. And obviously, Dave enjoyed it.
Has it really been 8 years?
Yeah,
wow.
Man. Fuck. It's crazy.
Historic.
Yeah.
Historic at this point. Jesus, 8 years. Jesus.
We went through COVID together and all that stuff. Is the new Jose PTB or PCB? It's PCB.
It's PCB. It's all PCB except for the pots, which are hand wired. It's a better way to do it. It's more consistent, and it's just better all around. And I couldn't do any of the fancy switching instead of the archaic switching that Jose did. So,
weren't a lot of the amps that he was working on back then PCB anyway?
No, they were mostly hand wired.
Were they?
Like mostly turret board amps. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, some were the early PCBs. Yeah.
What would hand wiring add to the cost of any given amp? I mean, especially one of that nature.
You know what? To be honest, the difference in price is nominal, because if you hand wire an amp, it's really all about labor in the end, right? So,
right, it's the labor.
If say an amp takes 2 hours to make versus 8 hours to make, you're only really talking about in money. Okay, let's hypothetically say it takes 8 hours to make versus 2 hours to make. I mean, that's 6 hours, right? So, I mean, maybe it's $100.
Yeah,
$120 difference.
Right.
I mean, it's not like astronomically different in price, but what you get by the PCB is you get much more reliability. Actually, you get less mistakes. You get more consistency from amp to amp, because everything is exactly the same every time. Believe me, hand wired is, people always think, oh, hand wired. Yeah, hand wired. Well, first of all, you're not going to tell the difference. I compared the new Jose to my vintage Marshall here that had the Jose mod on it, and it was the same. And the other thing you're going to get with hand wired is mistakes. I'm sorry. I see Marshalls that come across my bench that have had soldering mistakes from 1968 or 75.
Yeah, the original work.
The original work where something's not soldered actually, and it's all these years it's been around.
Mm-hmm.
And or a wiring error like that's been that way forever since, or they put the wrong part in the board. I see that constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So The thing is, try to make all the ones as consistent as you possibly can make, as best as you can possibly make. And that's the way I'm making these.
Evolution, baby.
Yeah. And it's a far cry from a cheap board. It's a very expensive, thick, very well laid out board. So there's a big difference in like that and say a PV5150 or something. You know. Which also sound good. That's fine.
Fishbulb wants to know, do you have any of your post-rock music online somewhere?
No, not yet. I haven't released anything. I'm still kind of going from song to song. I probably don't work in a typical way, but I'll get something to a point where I abandon it for that day, and then I'll get another idea and start on that. So I really have to get to a point where I can sit down and sort of amalgamate everything and understand what direction it's going in. So that'll take some time, but stick with me. I'll get out there one of these days, and hopefully you'll dig it.
Hey, Mark, maybe we should do our sponsors. Right at the end.
Right at the very end. Okay. I totally forgot. I totally blanked on that. All right. Yes, let's do our sponsors. Thanks for first of all, everybody who's watching, make sure you hit the subscribe and click the bell. All right. We know that half of you guys aren't subscribed, so please hit the subscribe button. All right. And then the second one is check out Sweetwater. It's Sweetwater. Great place to buy your gear. We have a link below, which is for our affiliate link. And if you purchase anything there, it gives a little kickback to the show, helps us keep the show going. So please use the Sweetwater link below and check out anything at Sweetwater. And also fixpedalboards.com
for all your pedal board accessory needs, like little pedal lifts and pedal bridges and interface boxes and all that good stuff that I use all the time.
Yep. Tell Tim we sent you. And Thomann Music.
If you're in Europe, Thomann Music, the European Sweetwater, so to speak.
Yep. Okay. All right. We got the plugs in.
Awesome. I think we're done with the questions. And
let's see. We got the Billy Sheehan. We got the question about the PCB. All right. Stockdale subscribed. We're good to go.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. So we appreciate that. Dave, someone wants to know, can you post a picture of the inside of the Jose?
I could. I don't have one sitting right here, but yeah. Yeah, maybe.
I can't find the question anymore, but that was one of them. And let's see. There was one other one. All right. It just my scrolling went crazy here. Dave and Mark, do the gear sale. Got money burning in my pocket. Oh, wow. That's awesome. All right. Well, we'll probably, that might be the next one we do.
If you're, maybe. I don't
know. I know I'm ready. Mad Max, what are the two good overdrive pedals that stack in front of a Plexi style amp, or are there two overdrive pedals a bad idea? Well, it depends on how you're pushing.
Two that stack together. I mean, are you running the Plexi clean and then deriving your overdrive from pedals? Man, don't do that. Use a real amp.
Yeah, maybe just boost it a little bit.
And there's a whole nother mindset of like, if you want to boost your Plexi or something, then that's a whole different thing. You know, I mean, a good Klon or a good like Tube Screamer S thing is good for that kind of thing, or a Buxom Boost or something like that I make.
You know what pedal I just got? It's freaking awesome. Is the JHS Not a Dumble.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah,
it's really good.
It's really good. Yeah,
that clean boost on that thing is really special.
Yeah,
like,
it's good.
It's really good.
Yeah, I would agree.
L. Scott Music. What are the studio monitors? I was wondering that too, Mick. What are your studio monitors that you're using?
Oh,
whole bunch.
I I have the NS10s, which I don't really use for my studio work. And then I have my old Super Golds, Tannoy Super Golds, which I use a lot, quite a bit. And then I've got my Focal, which at this point I think are kind of vintage. I think they're called CMS 6.5s, which I use mostly for mixing, with 2 of their subs. So yeah, between those, I get a pretty good idea what I'm doing.
Awesome.
Yeah, those sound great. A micro amp in front of a crank plexi is all you need.
Yep, that's good.
That'll work.
A vintage one. The vintage ones are better. I have one. I was actually remarkable to me, like the vintage micro amp. It's a very simple circuit. It's like a buffer, a variable gain buffer. But there's something about the vintage ones that just have more of this warmth and gooey grittiness compared to a newer one, and it's pretty obvious, and it's cool because I'm a big old MXR fan for pedal.
I think I have one of those. I think I have an MXR
vintage
micro, or whatever. Yeah, whatever it is.
White
I
one?
don't think I've ever used it. Yeah, I mean,
That's
I've never had
cool.
a need for it with my amps, but
you just boost the amp just a little, and it just gives a little.
That's cool. I'll have to try it now.
Yeah.
Steel Valley Git Picker says, Dave, I got a Tony Crank 20-watt Revolution. I wouldn't mind having Friedmanized. Could I email you some gut picks to see if it's something you can mod?
Sure.
I've been a wallflower from your first show. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, man.
There's nothing Dave can't mod.
Wait a minute. Don't say that.
Bring them in, folks. Give them everything
get me
you
in
got.
trouble. Get me in trouble.
Stephen Douglas, what's the best AC30 distortion pedal?
How about you just crank up the AC30?
Okay.
Can't argue that.
I mean, like, it depends. What's kind of AC30? Is it a top boost AC30? Is it a regular AC30? Is it, also a Range Master is cool into an AC30?
Yeah,
that's really cool. That's classic Brian May and stuff.
Here's an interesting question. Mick, would you have auditioned for Ozzy after Randy died if you got the call?
Wow. At the time, I was a big fan of Randy's. Yeah, I suppose the answer to that would have been yes. Absolutely. I think, when do we have a year? That would have been what, 82 or 80?
I was going to say that's
81?
between like 82 or 83, right?
Yeah. I would have been up for that gig.
Yeah. I just watched a really great interview with Rudy Sarzo being interviewed about the Randy days.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it was really, really good. It was on Michael Anthony's channel called On the Bus. And great interview. It was probably the most he talked about Randy, a lot. And then, so it was good. Let's see. I think we've gone through all the questions.
That's about it.
Yeah. So I want to thank Mick. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Mick. We appreciate it. It's been awesome to get to know you and learn about your history and your career and all the gear you use and etc. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me on. It was fun talking gear. I don't get to do it a whole lot, and it was nice to see you again, Dave, and nice to meet you, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to meet you too, Mick. Hope maybe I can get a chance to see you on the road one of these days.
Yeah, I think we'll be around.
Or at NAMM if we get a chance to meet. Do you go to NAMM?
Do they have a vintage section yet? No, I like going. I mean, it's okay. I kind of back away from a lot of the stuff that goes on there, but it's nice to see people.
If you go, stop by my booth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a point.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. If I get to meet you there, Mark, it's on.
All right.
Sounds good. I'll get you a drink.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Now we're talking. Exactly.
We have drinks at the booth, so
Thank you. All important.
And great pastries.
How do you feel about tequila?
Well,
really good.
I happen to be a Don Julio cat. I like the Blanco.
We can do much better than that.
Oh, good.
So
that's interesting.
Yes, come by the booth and you will experience what I'm talking about.
I just got back from New York and I had my first absinthe drip.
Oh, that's fun.
So I got a bottle of absinthe, and not that it's as good as tequila, but we're gonna work on that too.
Ask Dave about his absinthe story with Jake.
Oh, you have one?
Oh God, no.
One that you remember?
Barely.
Not so much. we did a 4-hour show on Tone Talk.
Oh wow.
The first Jake one. 4-hour show. We were drinking the whole entire time, both of us. By the end of it, I was asking the same questions again. And then we proceeded to go. I'm just making it really short. I proceeded to go to dinner with him after a 4-hour drinking show. And we go to this steak restaurant in Vegas, and I'm out of it already, And you're ordering your food. I barely remember what I ordered or ate, for that matter. And well, what would you have for drink? And I just looked, whatever he had. I pointed at Jake, and then shows an absinthe cocktail. This is not something I needed at this point in my thing.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And it wasn't one, it was maybe 2, maybe 3. I'm not sure. But next thing, the night went bad after that. So yeah,
that's too funny.
Yeah. I said that show took a few years off my life. But that's okay.
Right on. That's good.
It was fun though.
It was legendary.
Yeah,
it was pretty legendary.
It was
Totally.
funny. Well, Mick, great to get to know you. Thanks so much for coming on. Hang on while we say goodbye to everybody. Everybody have a great weekend.
See you later, guys.
And we'll see you later. Enjoy the weekend.
Cheers, folks. Thank you.